we need to mock now an object or a module. To mock a module, we are going to use a function that is called mock. So here inside task queue, I will do the following: vi dot mock. I need to import this vi. Okay, and you see that this mock, you need to provide it with the path of the module, and the path of the module is, we need to go one level up into src, and then one level down to lib, and then we need to take the module persistence. Okay. Now let's run it. Okay. So first what you see is, you see that I don't get the exception. You see that the mock was able to replace the function of persistent, the load and the save. The problem that is replacing it with some default implementation. For example, instead of load, he returned undefined. We are able to use now a mock object, but this mock object is not good enough. And to improve the situation, we need to use another function of vi, which is called fn. So let's look what we need to do. Okay, so we need to provide it with an arrow function, and because we have here default, we need also to use here, just need to put here this, so it will return it. And now the default, and here I need to provide the function, right? So what I want to tell him now is, hey, I want you to have my implementation, my implementation of load. Okay, so I need you to replace the real function. And if you remember, this can be done with fi.fn. So fi.fn, and here we will tell him what we want him to return. So we want him to return this array. So we have now replaced the load function, and we also need to replace the save function vi.fn, and in this case we don't have to provide the implementation because he will provide default implementation and will return undefined or not return nothing. In case of save, I don't care. We've done two things. First, we tell him, hey, you need to mock the default behavior of the object that is returned by default for persistent. This is done with mock. And we provide our own implementation of load and save. So now we don't care if we have exception if we are throwing exception. Now the test should pass. So if we go now with H and A, you see now that the test is passing. And of course, if we will try now to run the persistent test, it will not work because we have added exception here. So no point of running all the tests now. But after I see that my task queue is working okay, I can now remove the exception and revert it back to where it was before. We will do following. Remove this. Remove this. And now bring back this. Okay, so I've reverted persistent to be as before, but I'm having one more test using mocks. Let's invoke everything. npm test. And you see that it is working. All tests are working. And they will also work when I remove this. Let's see. So it is working with the mock. Or without the mock. And this is your choice. My preference is, if you have the implementation, use the implementation and not use mock. So I will revert it to using the mocks and mark version.